Hey, everybody. Basement Tapes 227. That's 70s Card Show here, John Keating. And talking about 71s still. We're still stuck in a rut, but it's a great rut. 71 was a great year for cards. 71 Top Supers. Says here I have four. I find that hard to believe, but I do only have four, apparently, of this set. Let's learn more, shall we? 63 total cards, $5, 2 cents average value, $316 total value, $125 to $250 for a complete set of these. They say the cards in this 63 card set measure 3 and 1/8 by 5 1/4 inch. The obverse format of the top super set of 1971 is identical to that of the 70 set. That is a borderless color photograph with a facsimile autograph printed on it. The backs are enlargements of the respective players' cards of the 1971 regular baseball issue. There are no reported scarcities in this set. Just as in 1970, this set was issued in 3 card packs of wax. No rookies. Let's look at the top 3 here. Just shaking my head. I could have sworn I had more of these, so very disappointed in myself. Hank Aaron leading the way, Clemente number 2, and Peter Edward Rose number 3. But there are some heaters after there, so we'll learn more about this set. Let's see here. How do we end up here? Interesting. 3 1/8 by 5 1/4, according to TCDB. 63 cards of the 1971 Top Super Set. Teams depicted are the Braves, Orioles, Red Sox, Angels, Cubs, White Sox, Reds, Indians, Tigers, Astros, Royals, Dodgers, Brewers, Twins, Expos, Mets, Yankees, Athletics, Phillies, Pirates, Padres, Giants, Cardinals, and Senators. Hall of Famers, there are 21 of them. Gaylord, Perry, Perez, Oliva, Aparicio, Brock, Bench, Santo, Clemente, Jackson, Jenkins, Stargell, Aaron, McCovey, Gibson, Yastrzemski, Seaver, Kaline, Mays, Robinson, Brooks, and Killebrew and Torrey. Says here, Davey Nine tells us that Cesar Cedeno, Amos Otis, and Richie Allen, my favorite players as a 9-year-old back in the day. Well, back in 1971. This is why I love the set, he tells us. Packaging, there is a big old box of wax packs there. Pete Rose on the cover. It says extra thick cards, 10 cents bubble gum, super baseball, Topps Curve T, gum net weight 0.18 OZs. Super baseball, bubblegum on the side, small wonder bazooka on the back, and then on the front would be another super baseball bubblegum, king size cards, 10 cent. And then on the bottom of the box is some small print, some fine print from Topps telling you that these cards were made in Pennsylvania or London, Ontario, if they were the OPG variety. You can get a whale's tooth, all that stuff. The packs are pretty cool. Black wax packs, really preceding the new metal era, and these would go a wonderful. This would be a wonderful backdrop for a corn show, if you ask me. Super baseball with 1 stick bubblegum, 10 cents, and genuine whale's tooth offer as well. So let's go over to the gallery. Look at that. Curved edges. Reggie Smith leads us off with the Red Sox number 1, Gaylord Perry number 2. Full bleed, they call this, possibly. They called it full bleed in 70 and 71. Not quite sure who else would have had full bleed cards back in those days. The backs, again, it's that Topps 70s green and replication, again, of the 1971 regular issue cards. There's Ted Savage in a Milwaukee Brewers uniform at Yankee Stadium. It's about dang time, right? Tommy Agee, Boog Powell, a lot of Yankee Stadium there. There's Doggy, Tony Perez at spring training. Dick Bosman with the Washington Senators, your senator-elect, because it was either him or Frank Howard, right? I guess. And we needed one guy that was pitching for the Washington Nationals, so why not Dick Bosman? Alex Johnson, he, I believe, would lead the league in batting average one year, and he was a very mercurial player, yet didn't quite catch on with anybody. But he's at Yankee Stadium for the moment. Classic Angels uniform depicted there. Rusty Staub is in, like many French Canadians, is in Florida for the spring to get away from a little Florida for the winter, perhaps, to get away from a little bit of the glacier action up there. Mel Stottlemyre, he's with the Yankees. Tony Oliva, Fenway Park, perhaps. Looks that way to me. Bill Freehan, not in the Hall of Fame. He is at spring training, though, most likely, along with Fritz Peterson. Fritz is smiling. He's about to get some new kids, a new dog, a new wife. What else could be? What other worries could you have? You're just free of mind if you're able to trade wives, dogs, and kids at any given moment. Wes Parker, he was on the Brady Bunch 1 year. He's at spring training. Cesar Cedeno is also at spring training, I believe, unless he's in the tundra of Montreal at Jerry Park. I can't tell the difference. Sudden Sam McDowell is winding up in New York Yankee Stadium. Frank Howard, 2 caps, 4 eyes, an unlimited amount of pinstripes and teeth are shown in his card. So that has everything. Dave McNally, he would win 20 games, I think, 4 times. We always think of that 1 year where 4 pitchers from the Orioles won 20 games, but Dave McNally did it more often than most people who pitch in the big leagues. Rico Petrocelli looks like a cross between Davey Concepcion and Joe Pepitone in his picture, his spring training picture, I should say. Pete Rose, he is at the on-deck circle. He's got gloves. He's got a bat in his armpit. And he's got either an airsoft gun or a scimitar perched just off camera. It's barely creeping into the photo. So I'm not sure what Pete Rose is ready, willing, and able to do, but I wouldn't put anything past that young man back then. Luke Walker is a Pittsburgh Pirate pitcher that you may or may not have ever heard of, but he's got his rubber jacket on and sleeveless vested Pirate shirt. Nate Colbert, he'd get a lot of RBIs in a couple of years. Luis Aparicio is the beautiful Blue Sox uniform and Yankee Stadium in the background. Jim Perry looks like Gaylord Perry and Jim Perry age combined right there. He looks like an old man at that point in spring training. Lou Brock, classic pose there, left-handed, firm grip on the bat, 1 red stripe on his bat. Roy White, with a couple other people in the background. I don't know whether that's Ron Bloomberg or what, but there's some other Yankees in the background as well. Roy is dangerously close to cutting the sleeves all the way off his undershirt there, but he is proud of his sleek form. Claude Osteen is warming up on the sidelines, as they call it, at Shea Stadium, as is Carl Morton, although he looks a little more disinterested in pitching than Claude Osteen. And unfortunately, Carl Morton has a left shin growing out of his left arm. So hopefully he got that taken, perhaps frozen off or sawed off. Ricardo Cardi is ready to go. Batting right-handed, black cap, just ready to go. Larry Dierker is wearing some lapels that were in fashion back then in the 1970s, of course, with the Astros. Bert Campaneris is again sleeveless, but he does have the long undershirt on all the way down to his wrist, perhaps covering up his gang tattoos or his whatever else is going on there. He's got a bat in his hand, and he's ready to swing it. Johnny Bench has his tongue sticking out, perhaps, or I don't know. Something's going on there. He's got an orange batting glove on. He's in spring training. He doesn't have a care in the world. There's a bunch of batting helmets lined up way off in the distance. Just looks like a fun place and a fun time to be. Felix Mian, how about him? He is choked up so far on that bat. I'm worried I don't know whether he's planning on making contact with the heel of the bat or the barrel of the bat, but he's ready to go. He's card 33, Atlanta Braves, second base, 5'11", 172, bats right, throws right, born 8/21, 43, home, Rio Piedras in a PR known as Puerto Rico. Felix had his finest year at the plate ever in 1970 as he topped his lifetime batting average by 37 points, finished second on club in batting, while leading in at-bats, hits, triples, and stolen bases. First year in baseball, 1964. First game in majors, 1966. First year in pro ball, I should say, 1964. Copyright TCG, printed in USA. His 1970 and lifetime statistics are recorded in that card. Tim McCarver, Shea Stadium. Backup catcher, well, maybe he was the starting catcher, probably the backup catcher at that point. Ron Santo, Chicago Cubs. Tommy Agee, New York Mets. Roberto Clemente at home at Three Rivers. Reggie Jackson on the road at Yankee Stadium. Wonderfully classic shot there. There's Clyde Wright of your California Angels. Richie Allen with those Los Angeles Dodgers. Not a care in the world there with those mutton chops. And the hair, 3/4 of the way. Well, I don't know about that, but it's covering his ears quite a bit. I don't know how that man could hear, or perhaps that's how he tuned it all out. The current greatest travesty in exclusion from the Baseball Hall of Fame is Curt Flood. He is card 41, and at this point, 1971, he's been through the ringer. He left the Cardinals for the Phillies, never showed up at the Phillies, and tried to rejuvenate his career in April of 71, I believe, with the Washington Senators, and he would be out of baseball by maybe May. So tragedy. The man deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Fergie Jenkins is with the Cubs. Willie Stargell double-hatted with the Pirates. Not quite sure why they had the black helmets and the mustard caps. Maybe somebody could explain that to me. Hank Aaron's at Shea Stadium for the umpteenth time. Amos Otis out there in KC. William McCovey, he is a San Francisco Giant. Bill Melton is one of the Blue Sox there. Bob Gibson, he's got the rubber jacket on, or just at least a windbreaker. This is one of my least favorite Yaz cards, 49. Not sure why I don't like it, but for some reason I don't like it. Glenn Beckert is the Cubs second baseman, I believe he is. Yeah, he was, I believe he was an all-star. He's a solid guy there at second base. Another one of those mysterious teams of the 60s, Beckert and Jenkins and Banks and Billy Williams and Ron Santo, and nothing to show for it. Ray Fosse has the catcher's chest protector on, folks. So you know who you are, you little gag ball people. Go get one of those cards. Cito Gaston is now Cito Gaston. Clarence has been retired temporarily, maybe, other than in his signatures, but he is at Shea Stadium behind the batting cage. Tom Seaver, don't care what you say, and he's at spring training. Al Kaline, spring training, and Jim Northrup, another Detroit Tiger, is at spring training. Willie Mays, just happy to be in Florida. Sal Bando, he's happy to be anywhere. He's the captain. Darren Johnson's at Shea Stadium. Brooks Robinson is Yankee Stadium. Harmon Killebrew, Yankee Stadium. And, boy, we got to be getting to the end here somehow. Joe Torre's at spring training at bat. Lou Piniella got a cap on, so we can't see his quaff, but he's at Yankee Stadium. Tommy Harper is in a full Brewers uniform with the M on there, and he is our 63rd and final card. So good to see the Brewers in Yankee Stadium. Brewers are an American League team, folks, for ancient people like myself. So that's the 1971 Topps Superset on the baseball series we call Basement Tapes, and this is episode number 227.